So everyone actually calls me Red, but for this story it's actually kind of important that you know my real name's Robert. So when I was about 3 years old, my grandmother had a stroke. I think I was 3. This is where memory gets a little bit fuzzy, but I know my grandmother had a stroke, and she was paralyzed on, again, memory a little fuzzy. I can't remember if it's the right side or the left side. It's kind of funny that I can't picture which side of her body couldn't move, but I remember seeing these pictures of my grandmother holding me as a baby, as a little sort of newborn baby, and seeing my grandmother holding me, and all this time that I have memories of when I was 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, and I picture my grandmother in this wheelchair, and she can't move on one side of her body, and so this picture of her holding me is just like this really foreign concept to me. I can't picture my grandmother holding me because she couldn't move. So the other thing about my grandmother's stroke, it was a massive stroke, and she had expressive aphasia, which means that she couldn't talk. She lost her ability to speak. And the thing is, the funny thing about my grandmother's case, and we called my grandmother Granny. We all picked different names for our grandmothers, and this particular grandma was Granny. So Granny couldn't speak except for a couple of words, and the couple of words that my Granny could remember were curse words. So I think the 3 words that my grandmother could say clearly were shit, damn it, and fuck. So I hope it's okay to say those words here. But so we would get these voicemails from my grandmother, because she started off by, originally she lived with my parents, and then they came home one day and she'd had a 6-pack of beer and a cigar in her mouth. So eventually she went into a really well-qualified nursing home. So we'd get these voicemails from her from time to time, and it would just be like a little bit of mumbling and then, shit, damn it, fuck. And that's all I ever heard my grandmother say for the longest time. So we really loved Granny and cared for her a lot. And even though she was in a nursing home, we went down there all the time. And I have all these vivid memories of, it was probably about like a 45-minute drive away, the nursing home from where we lived. But we would go down there, and I have all these memories of me going down there with my mom. And every time we would go down there, because she couldn't speak, but she obviously still had these thoughts going on, we'd bring her these magazines and advertisements to figure out what she needed. The nursing home provided basic care, but she might still want new clothes, she might want certain foods, things like that. So we would bring her these magazines and circulars, and she'd always point to the things she wanted, and we could get them for her. One time, though, we went down there, and she was looking through the supermarket circular, and she didn't see what she wanted. She wanted something, but it wasn't there. So the other word she could say was this. So she drew a little oval on a piece of paper, and she said, this, I want this, and it's just this oval. So we're sitting there trying to figure out what she wants, and we're guessing every oval-shaped food we can think of. So we're like, eggs? Nope, not that. Shit, damn it, fuck. So then we ask her, Milano cookies? We're trying to think of what are oval-shaped foods. No, shit, damn it, fuck. We can't hear what she wants. And this went on, I tell you, honestly, for years. So we'd bring these things, and she wanted something, and we couldn't figure out what it was. So because of her paralysis, we often couldn't take her places, but one day we were able to take her to the supermarket. We weren't thinking about this particular thing at the time. We just wanted to get her out and about. We had this opportunity. So we take her to the supermarket about a mile down the road, and we're pushing Granny in her wheelchair, and I'm probably, 10, 12 years old at this time. My mom's pushing her. And we're coming up to the meat department of all places, and she's getting really excited, as much as, someone who can't speak and can't really move can get visibly excited. She's getting really excited. And she's like, this. And it turns out that it's Hillshire Farms Polska Kibasi. It's not normally oval-shaped, but that's how they happen to package it. So she was really excited. So that turns out that's what it was. So we bought some, we brought it back to the nursing home. And my grandmother she grew up in a Catholic orphanage, but we've worked out that she's got at least some Polish background. And, that's what she wanted all this time, this food that she'd cooked all this time growing up. So we brought it back, we cooked it in the microwave, which is really not the way you're supposed to cook it, but who cares at that point. It was delicious, and I was really young when I experienced this. As I was growing up, though, I like to think of myself as a writer, and I'd read all these writing books, and they talk about the most important thing for a writer is to make every word count. When you're a writer, you have to make every word when you write count. I remember reading that when I was a teenager and thinking, yeah, I already know that. Really, nobody knew that every word counts quite like my granny did. Thank you.